Tomorrow starts one of my absolute favorite parts of the NBA. Most people would think the best part of the NBA happens during the season, but from the analyst side of things, it is very fun to see teams make offseason signings and trades so they can try and find what they were missing the year before and get what they need to compete or rebuild. It's definitely safe to say that the free agent market this year is absolutely dry. So the few players that have good talent will be going for a lot more than they normally would, which many championship teams are going to pass on, and instead try to make trades that will better their teams and maybe even get them a ring. I believe that we are about to see so many trades that the NBA will look completely different come the start of the season this winter or spring. Today I will be discussing the 5 NBA players that are practically guaranteed to get traded when the market opens up tomorrow, and what these trade moves tell us about other teams and potential trades. But before we get any further in the video, if you have watched my videos before or you are just liking the vibe of this one, it would mean the world if you could subscribe, and if you are new, join the Woods crew. Also, if you are liking the content, it would be greatly appreciated if you could destroy that like button on this video. It really does help the channel grow, and we are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers in the first month of having the channel. Lastly, if you want daily NBA updates on the gram, drop a follow at Woods Hoops. It's always linked below. Now let's get into the 5 NBA players that are practically guaranteed to be traded to a new team when the market opens up. Starting out with my guy, Dennis Schroder of the Thunder. There have been multiple reports by Woj and Shams that the Thunder and Lakers have agreed to a trade sending Schroder to LA in exchange for the 28th overall pick in Wednesday's draft, as well as Danny Green. Although it has been confirmed and reported that this is going to happen, this trade was a shock for almost all NBA fans. There were so many talks of LA making a splash and trading for big names like CP3, Bradley Beal, or even D Rose that many people ruled out the fact that they may trade for a smaller player like Schroder, which is exactly what they did. I really do like this move for the Lakers though, especially because they are in a win now mode and trying to get as many rings as they can with the LeBron and AD duo. Schroder is coming off his second highest scoring year, and he is in the prime of his career right now at age 27. Also, I believe that this is an incredibly good value trade for the Lakers, being that they are supposedly only giving up the 28th pick in the draft, which you know isn't going to help them in their win now mode, as well as Danny Green. I'm not going to be the guy to put the false narrative on Danny Green just because of his playoff performance with the Lakers and that one shot he missed. But the fact is, Schroder will be a much better fit with the Lake Show, in my opinion, and will be able to do more than Green on both sides of the floor. With that being said, I don't think this was the best trade for the Thunder to make, but it's clear that they are going full rebuild mode, and they will most likely dump off CP3 as well very soon. I was expecting them to keep Dennis Schroder because it seemed like a good pairing with their young talent Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but it looks like they just wanted to get rid of Schroder so they wouldn't have to pay him next year, because if he keeps playing like this, he is gonna get a sizable bag. Like I said, I think that some of these trades are basically set in stone and are also foreshadowing some of the trades that may happen in the very near future. With the Thunder shipping off Schroder for not much in return, it's almost guaranteed that Chris Paul will be traded soon as well. And it looks like he won't go to LA after all. At least not the Lakers, that is. There have been reports that the Claw himself, Kawhi Leonard, reached out to Chris Paul to see if he would be interested in a reunion with his former team, the Clippers. Paul is interested, but the money just might not line up to make it happen, as Ryan Russillo stated on his podcast. The Clippers definitely interested in Chris Paul, says Russillo. The math doesn't really make any sense, and Paul has basically told any of the teams that are interested in trading for him, hey, I don't want you trading your player for me. I just want to come and join you. But that is really hard when you are making over $40 million a year and another year for $40 million plus for the next. So Paul's not taking any kind of buyout from OKC to then try and make up the money somewhere else, because I don't know that the buyout would make a ton of sense for anybody involved. Even if the buyout were really high and then Paul went ahead and made extra money. Here's something that did surprise me, because I feel like Kawhi is the distant mythological creature that doesn't talk with anybody. Apparently Kawhi reached out to Chris Paul immediately and was like, hey, you should come here. So that part is real. The pursuit is real. The interest and the math on it from Paul's standpoint doesn't seem to be all that realistic though. As much as we all, including Kawhi Leonard himself, would like to see CP3 suit up for the Clippers again, it really doesn't seem realistic for either side to make this happen, which leads us to believe that the Clippers may trade for another guard that recently demanded a trade, Russell Westbrook. After demanding a trade, there was speculation that Westbrook may end up on the Clippers as soon as it was made known they were a frontrunner for Brody. In my last video, I exclusively talked about this trade and hypothesized the potential Paul George Russell Westbrook swap, which may actually be what will happen. That's right, I said it. I predicted the future. Just go watch the last video and see me do it. According to Heavies.com, Brandon's Scoop B. Robinson, the Clippers and Rockets have conducted preliminary talks for trade centered around George and Westbrook. The discussions also included Robert Covington and a 2023 first-round selection headed to Los Angeles. I believe that this trade could truly be beneficial for both sides, being that the Rockets are willing to include Robert Covington in the trade as well, which, as the Wolves fan, I can say is a solid two-way player, and low-key, the man is a spark plug that can get the team hyped with a defensive to offensive play. This would be a big risk for the Clippers after all they invested for PG though. But you can't deny that the Westbrook floor general with the Leonard two-way skills and all the players surrounding them could contend for a championship first year. Fact is, it's up to the Clippers. The Rockets already said they like the deal, so only time will tell if they decide to make a blockbuster trade to get rid of playoff P and add Brody to the squad. Russell Westbrook has not been the only player on the Rockets trade talks though. There have been rumors surrounding the Beard, the former MVP himself, James Harden. Now, in the last video, I said that the Rockets were more than likely going to keep Harden if you watched that, and that Harden was committed and ready to go for the upcoming season with the Rockets. But since then, there have been some new leaks and rumors that make Harden's staying seem very unlikely. There have been two teams in the mix for a blockbuster James Harden trade, the 76ers and the Nets. With Harden's former coach recently joining the 76ers, it's safe to say that he will make a push and try to acquire Harden. But the Rockets may not take them up on it, being that they already stated they are not interested in Ben Simmons. The most recent reports, though, have been with the Brooklyn Nets, who reached out to the Rockets inquiring about a Harden trade, but I'm not going to go too in depth with this because I have a whole another video dropping on the Harden situation alone this Tuesday. So subscribe if you're new and join the Woods crew because you're not going to want to miss it. But let me say this, there is a real possibility that this trade happens and the Nets could form a dynasty with the trio they would have. Although I mentioned more than 5 players in this video, there is a chance that the packages for these trades get changed, but I still think we can all safely believe that Schroder, Westbrook, CP3, and Harden will 100% be traded once the market opens tomorrow. I wanted to wait until today to make this video so I didn't miss any news or rumors about trades before free agency begins and trade market opens. So I hope you enjoyed this video. But I want to hear from you guys. Let me know down below one person I didn't mention that you think is 100% getting traded once the market opens up. There were many players I didn't talk about today, like the potential Kemba Walker and Drew Holiday swap, the Mavs making a push to get Zach LaVine, and many more. So let me know down below what you think is going to go down over the next couple weeks, starting tomorrow. If you are still watching, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, leaving a like would be greatly appreciated, as well as subscribing if you are new and joining the Woods crew. I'm absolutely hyped for the free agency and love making these videos, so be on the lookout for 3 to 5 uploads a week at least with everything going on. Can't wait to see what goes down and talk about it with you all. But until then, thank you for watching. Woods out.